Welcome back to the Flan Fan Show. I'm your host, Jim Flanagan. It's another episode here, episode 3, where we recap week number 2 here in season 17. We got your scores, your leaderboards, player rankings, team rankings, plus the newly added Mel Kiper's All-Pro lines and Drug Monkeys weekly picks. So without further ado, let's get the show started. Start things off here with the scores for week 2. Start things off here on Monday night. The Boondock Saints sweeping Winter's Coming, but it wasn't easy. First 2 games were, but game number 3, Winter's Coming were on merge of possibly getting their first win, but now Booch takes a late penalty, and the Saints put the open netter at 6-on-4 power play. D-Mart finds Drug Monkey with 2 seconds left to send that game to overtime, and then it's Crazy Yeti Killer with the OT game winner to intact the sweep here. They take all 3. John Monkey, 9 goals, 4 assists. Surprised me with 4 goals, 9 assists. Drug Monkey had 4 goals, 7 assists, and D-Mart with 6 points, all of them finishing with plus 9. Next series, High Expectations and Classic Hits. Classic Hits taking all 3 here. Game number 1, Kelch with the OT winner. Game 2, only goal scored there was by Toxic, 1-0. And then Adrenaline with the game winner in game number 3. He had a point on all goals in that 4-3 final. LL Cool Sam, the goalie there for Classic Hits, 33 saves, 1.31 goals against average, 89.2 save percentage, and 1 shutout. On the losing side, Superstar managed 44 saves here, 2.30 goals against, with an 84.1 save percentage. And the last game for Monday night, the Simps against Orange Sus. Simps winning here, all 3 games going to them. It's a sweep, 4-2, 3-2 final, and then 5-4 in overtime. Dangles, X10, gets the OT winner, but shortly after that, he gets traded off or dropped to the waivers. On the stats here, Finney with a big night on defense. He had 1 goal, 5 assists, 6 points. The lineman net, 35 saves, 81.4 save percentage. The 3 stars of the night for November 9th. At forward, we got John Monkey, 9 goals, 4 assists, 13 points. On defense, D-Mart with 6 points, 4 hits, a plus 9. And in net, LL Cool Sam, 89.2 save percentage, 1.31 goals against average, and 1 shutout. There were no games on Tuesday. On Wednesday night, we did have a lot here. Washed against Daly's Wet Noodles. Washed win game 1, 5-2, 4-1 game 2, and then take the sweep here, 4-3 in overtime. Mosh ties it up in the third in that game 3, and then also gets the game winner, the newly acquired Mosh, with the sweep here. He had 6 goals, 3 assists. On shots on goal here, favoring Wash, 53-22 shots on goal. Despite Bills' 72% in net, they get the sweep. Next series, Ice Frogs against Winter's Coming, and the Frogs win this one easily. 4-3 game 1, 3-1, and 6-1 final. Sauce Walker with 3 goals, 8 assists, and the rookie, this Nub, and Young Buffalo, the captain there, had 4 goals each. In net for the Ice Frogs, Butcher's Son with a 1.67 goals against average. Next we have Orange Sus against those guys. And the struggle continues here for those guys on offense. They lose game 1, 2-0, 4-3 game 2, and then 7-1 game number 3. Pale with 8 goals, 3 assists. Both Nick the Greek and Ozzy finished with 8 points each. Anderson on defense with 6 assists in this one. And that's your final. Moving on, Cobra Kai undefeated against Crosby, Niels for Malkin, and they stay undefeated here
4-2 game 1, 3-1, and then 5-4 final. Bomber, who's having a phenomenal season here, 3 goals, 7 assists in this one. Cobb, rookie here, 3 goals, 5 assists, and also Roman, 5 goals, 2 assists. On the opposite side there, B. Cripps facing a lot of shots here, 60 shots in this one, still managing an 80 save percentage in that sweep loss. And next series, we have Simps going up against High Expectations, and another team here, High Expectations, not getting the goals. Only 3 goals in this entire series. They lose 4-0, 5-1, and then 8-2 blowout there. The Simps bring out the big line here. Flode, Rondon Volante, and Wizzy War. All 3 combined with 37 points in this one. The line, 1.00 goals against average with a 91 save percentage in that sweep. The stars of the night for November 11th. At forward, Flode with 6 goals, 9 assists, 15 points. Mr. Anderson gets the star here for defense. He had 6 points, 9 hits, a +6. And in net, it goes to the line, 90.9 save percentage, 1.00 goals against average, and 1 shutout. Last games of the week for Thursday night, we had 4 of them here, 4 series. Crosby going up against the Ice Frogs. Frogs winning 3-0 shutout game 1. Game 2 going to overtime, and it's Captain Young Buffalo with the game winner, 2-1. But they can't win game 3. Crosby wins that one, 3-2 is the final in that one. They lose the series, but they do manage 3 points in this one. Both goalies, just solid night there. B. Cripps for Crosby and Butcher's son for the Ice Frogs. Had 1.21 goals against average, and 85.7 for Butcher's son in that win. Next, Daly's Wet Noodles against Johnny Kling's Classic Hits. Hits take 1, 5-4. Young Kelch with a hat trick in that first game, and it's Toxic with the OT winner. He also gets the game winner and the only goal in game number 2, 1-0 final. And they get the sweep here, 4-1 game number 3. Toxic finished with 6 goals, 4 assists, 10 points. And in net for the Classic Hits, Cool Sam, a 1.54 goal against average, 85.7 save percentage, and 1 shutout. Next we have Washed against the Boondock Saints. Saints winning game 1, 4-3, but then lose the next 2, 5-1. 3-1 game 3. Wash taking a series here, and it's a big one. Despite without Mosh on here, Headless Frangu stepping up, playing forward here. He had a big night. 6 goals, 2 assists, 8 points for him. And McGilla on defense, shutting the boys down here, only holding the Saints to 6 goals all series. And Bills had one of his best series here so far this season. 84.2 save percentage with 32 saves. And lastly, we have Cobra Kai Puckers against those guys. And Cobra Kai staying undefeated, the only undefeated team here after week 2. 3-0, 3-1 game 2, and 2-1. Brick only giving up 2 goals the entire series here. And it's probably because those guys also have the worst goals for, only 16 in 2 weeks. Bomber, 4 goals, 3 assists, 7 points for Cobra Kai. Brick finished with 0.67 goals against average, 90 save percentage, and 1 shutout. The stars of the night for Thursday, November the 12th. On the forward positions, Toxic, 6 goals, 4 assists, 10 points. On defense, Cougar with 4 points, 2 hits, a +4. And in net, it's Brick City, 90 save percentage, 0.67 goals against average, and 1 shutout. For the players of the week here for week number 2, at forward, it's going to be on the left wing position. It's Flode, 10 goals, 14 assists, 24 points for the week. He was a plus 16. At the center position, a part-timer here, Rondon Volante. Only 3 games played. We had 13 points, a plus 11. And at the right wing position, it's Toxic. 10 goals, 4 game-winning goals out of the 6 games played. On the left D position, we got Cougar Hunter. He had 9 points, a plus 8 with 9 hits. On the right D position, it goes to Gyneman. 5 points, plus 11 with 16 hits. And the goalie of the week, Cool Sam, 87.5 save percentage, 1.42 goals against average. Congrats to all the players of the week here for week number 2. All right, there's your results, your players of the week. Right now, let's take a look at the teams here, where each team falls. We got the team power rankings here after week number 2. Let's take a look here at the team rankings. I got the power rankings here. Now, what we do to get the different ratings, as you see on the far right, we take a team's win percentage, but we also are factoring in the teams that they've played and those teams' win percentage on here. So if we look at the very bottom, number 10 spot going to Daily Wet Noodles. Obviously, their win-loss record not so great. Just above them, High Expectations with a rating of 2156.81. Again, offense struggling there for that team. Now, Cobra Kai undefeated here this season. Now, the reason why they're at the number 8 spot, they have not played any team in the top 8 here. They've had the most, the least schedule-wise, they've played the bottom 4 teams. So that's why I have them here at the number 8 spot. Above them is Johnny Clink's Classic. Also has not had the toughest schedule. Toughest team they had, they got swept by. So they're at number 7. Above them, Crosby News for Malkin had a good week 1, but week 2 they have dropped a bit here. Still in the top 8. Above them, a team that's been moving up the ranks each week, Washed, 5585.14. Getting very close to the number 4 spot, who they beaten this past week. That's the Boondock Saints. They dropped down a bit here. Above them is the Simps, back at the top 3 spot. After not so good week 1, they're back up there at top 3. Orange Sauce at number 2. And the number 1 team still, the Niagara Ice Frogs, on here with a 6562.50 rating. Let's take a look here at some of the other ranks here on the team stats. For the best offense team with the most goals for, we've got the Simps with 50, Boondock Saints 49, Classic Hits have 45, and then both Cobra Kai and Orange Sauce with 43. The best defense, giving up the least goals, Cobra Kai 20, the Ice Frogs 24, Classic Hits 26, the Simps with 27, and Crosby with 30. What about the worst offense team that's not scoring, least goals for? Those guys with 16, High Expectations right below them with 17, Daily's Wet Noodles 20, and Winter's Coming 24, and Crosby with 27. Worst defense, giving up the most goals here, Winter's Coming with 67, Daily's Wet Noodles 42, those guys 39, and both High Expectation and Washed with 37. Who's the best on the power play? Well, Johnny Kling's Classic Hits, 35.7% on the power play. Washed with 30. Daily's Wet Noodles don't have much power plays, but when they do score 25% here for them. Cobra Kai Puckers also with 25, and the Saints with 23.3. Team with the best penalty kill, the Simps, 93.8 on the PK. The Lime doing majority of that. Crosby with 90, along with the Ice Frogs. Orange Sauce with 88.9. And High Expectations here. Not much offense, but do still play good defense. 85.2 save percentage on the penalty kills. Majority of superstar on that one as well. Team with the most time on attack is a team, got the best defense, giving up the least goals because they spend a lot of time on the attack. 119 for Cobra Kai, Ice Frogs 97, the Simps at 93, Boondock Saints with 88, and Johnny Klink's Classic Hits 87.
All right, right now we're going to take a look at Mel Kiper's All-Pro lines, who made line number 1 and line number 2. Obviously, line 1 being the better one, where he takes a look here at, and he breaks it down, not just the stats, not just the goals, but who you played, how you played, goals you gave up, your plus minus. It's all breaking down the overall ratings of each player. So without further ado, here's the All-Pro line, starting first with line number 1.
The Mel Kiper's Week 2 All-Pro lines, line number 1. At the center position, we got Bomber, a 91 overall. 6 games played here in Week 2, 10 goals, 7 assists, 31 shots, 4 game-winning goals, and 53% on the face-offs. At the left wing position, going to Flode, 93 overall rating, 6 games played, 10 goals, 14 assists, 35% on shooting, and he was a plus 16 on the plus and minus. For the right wing position, goes to Sauce Walker of the Ice Frogs, overall 89 on the rating, games played is 6 goals, 9 assists, 2 game winners. Win-loss for week number 2 was 5-1. On the left defense position, going to Cougar Hunter of the Cobra Kai, 91 overall rating. He had 9 points, 9 hits, a plus 8, 6-0 on the week, and giving up only 7 goals on even strength. At right defense, we got Kane, a 90 overall rating, 5 points, 13 hits, a plus 8, also going 6-0, and giving up 8 goals, even strength. And in net of the Classic Hits here, goalie LL Cool Sam, 95 overall, 9 goals allowed, 1.42 goals against average, 87.5 save percentage, and 2 shutouts. Line number 2 of the All-Pro lines at the center spot, it's Pale Poner, 88 overall rating, 10 goals, 5 assists, 52% on shooting with 39 hits. For left wing, we got John Monkey, 89 overall, 12 goals, 6 assists, 43% shooting with 31 hits. Right wing, going to Toxic, 87 overall, 10 goals, 4 assists, 35 shots, a plus 8 with 4 game-winning goals. For left defense, line 2, going to Hall of Fame of the Ice Frogs, a 90 overall rating. He had 8 points, plus 11, giving up 9 goals total. For right defense, Mr. Anderson, a 90 overall rating, 9 points, plus 3 on the plus and minus, giving up 11 goals total. And in net, goaltender Butcher's Son of the Ice Frogs, 92 overall, 9 goals allowed, 1.43 goals against average. He had an 83 save percentage with 1 shutout. Those are your Mel Kiper's Week 2 All-Pro lines.
All right, right now we're going to take a look at some of the leaderboards here. Who leads the league in goals, assists, the points leaders, and also who were the goons of the week here after week number 2.
All right, the most goals on the season so far, Toxic leading the pack here. He has 21. Flowed right below him with 20, as well as Pale Poner. And then Surprise Me and John Monkey both with 19. For the most assists, it's Bomber, Cobra Kai here, 24 assists. Below him is Drug Monkey number 2 with 22. And then we got a tie here, Toxic and Cobb, both with 19. Then a three-way tie with 18, Float, Ozzy, and Mr. Anderson. Most points on the season, he leads in goals, he also leads in points. Toxic with 40, Float right below him with 38, Pale Poner 37, and both Bombers surprised me with 35. Most points as a rookie, Cobb with 29, The Snub below him with 24, Roman with 19, Levin's got 17, and Kane with 14. Most points as a defenseman, D. Mart, 18. Mr. Anderson has 17, one below him. Kane with 14. Cougar Hunter has 13. And both Hall of Fame and Rapid Calf with 12. The best plus and minus as a defenseman, running Duck Butter, part-timer there for the Simps, he's plus 19. And so is the odd guy for Cobra Kai, he is plus 19. Cougar Hunter has plus 18, along with Pot Shot, D-Mart, and Crazy Eddie Killer plus 17. Most hits, the big hitters surprised me. 110 so far here, just after week number 2. SBDR with 93, Levins has 74, Pale Poner 73, and Sober Enough with 71. The biggest goons who got the most penalty minutes, well, you get a lot of hits, over 100 hits. Surprised me, 21 penalty minutes. Hergy right below him there, though, with 19. SBDR making a top leaderboard here. Not a good one, though. 16 penalty minutes. Geineman with 16 as well. And then we got a 5-way tie here. Cabaret, Crazy Eddie Killer, Swizz, Colin Nally, surprised to see him on here. Headless Frangu, all with 14. On the goaltender position, least goals against average, 3 games minimum played here. Brick City, 1.61 at the number 1 ranked spot. Blow's Butcher's Son with a 1.95. Cool Sam, 2.13. Lime, just below him, 2.14. And B Crips with 2.42. Best save percentage so far, Brick City, 83.5. B Crips has an 82.9 save percentage. The Line with 82.8. Butcher Son at 82. And Cool Sam, 80.9 save percentage. Most shutouts, Cool Sam, 3 on the season. And then there's a 4-way tie there with only 1. Brick City, Lime, Butcher Son, Sir Puffington, and Superstar. A lot of trades happening here at the end of week number 2. A lot of fire sales going on. People being traded. Players being dropped, picked up. Let's take a look here at the transactions and also the schedule for week number 3 with Drug Monkeys weekly picks and his lock of the week. Alright, lastly here we're going to look at some of the trades, transactions. Daly's Wet Noodles receiving Dangles HD from Washed, and Washed getting Magilla. Then we have the Wet Noodles getting K-Dog here, 29 bods, and trading off Bear to Joust to those guys. But then, shortly after that, Wet Noodles drops K-Dog and then adds in Death Mall. Now, I don't know if this was a cap thing or not, but why they didn't just drop Bear and pick up Death Mall off the waivers. But it could have been a capped size due to K-Dog being 29. And I don't know if I've ever seen a player at 29 bods being dropped to the waivers. That might be the highest. But once again, I don't think K-Dog should have went that high, as a lot of people as well think the same way. Next trades here, we have High Expectations getting Pogs. And they trade Marty McFly over to the Crosby News for Malkin. I think that was an even trade. Both guys there play pretty solid defense. I think it's pretty even trade. Next, High Expectations getting Black and Gold. And Wet Noodles ending up with Rob. I haven't seen much of Black and Gold. He's a new guy here. Rob I have. Rob's had some pretty solid seasons, but availability is a question mark. And then we have 2-for-2 trade here. Wet Noodles getting Power Kill as well as Magilla. And then, but they ended up trading him anyway. And then those guys receiving SBDR and Ian here in that 2-for-2 trade. High Expectations end up getting Nabooch on here, and then Winters Come trade off Mox here. I think both guys are pretty solid, pretty evenly on here. Mox going over to Winters Coming. Let's see if what impact he could do over there. High Expectations here, dropping Sniper. This was a big surprise. Picking up JRD, which I don't know much about. And then Winters Coming drops low and picks up K-Dog off the waivers. Lastly here we have the Simps dropping Dangles and then picking up Sniper here, no question. And lastly, Crosby News for Malkin dropping Panorentino over to the waivers and picking up Johnny Blaze. All right, that does it for the trades and transactions. Lastly here, let's take a look at the schedule here for this week. And we got Drug Monkey with his weekly picks here. Now, two series you won't see on here is a series with the Boondock Saints. Obviously, he's taking his own team. He's not going to bet against them. And why would you want to bet against DeMar anyway? First series, Crosby News for Malkin. He's electing those guys. I don't know about that one. I probably would have went with Crosby here. Yes, they did have a tough week, but still productive. While those guys, the worst team in offense, I don't know about that one, Drug, but maybe he knows something I don't. I know there's been trades also, so we'll see. Next, taking Washed over Johnny Kling. Yes, I think this is going to be pretty evenly matched up here, especially with the players picked up by Wash. Could be a tough series here for the classic hits. Next series, the Simps over those guys. Yes, I agree with that one. Ice Frogs over High Expectations. That one as well. That's probably my best pick of the week. Next one is Drug Monkeys lock of the week, taking Daly's Wet Noodles over Winters Coming here. You heard it here, folks. If you're in that draft pool, that wager with Mr. Anderson hosting there on the Discord, mark this one up, man. For Daly's Wet Noodles, Drug assured me that it is a lock on here, and you will not lose. Next, we have Orange Sus. He's taking them over High Expectations. Agree with that pick. The Simps over Cobra Kai here. Now, this should be an interesting matchup here. Cobra Kai undefeated. And I think they're really going to get tested here with this series here against the Simps. How good they really are. Now, the next one here. Upset of special here for Drug Monkey. He's taking Daly's Wet Noodles over the undefeated Cobra Kai Puckers. Now, this could happen. This could very well happen, especially if they lose against the Simps as well. There could be a meltdown there. We've seen it before last season with Brick City. Will that happen again here? Plus, don't count Yam's team out, man. He did some good trades. Has had some tough games, tough schedule so far. Johnny Kling's classic hits next over Crosby News for Malkin. And lastly, Washed over Winters Coming. Let me know what you guys think. What you guys think of Drug Monkey's picks here. We're going to tally him up next week, see how he does. He assured me that these are lock picks here. So, like I said, if you're doing the pool, make sure do not go against Drug Monkey on here.
All right, that does it here for the Flan Fan Show. Join us again next week. We're almost closing to the midpoint of the season here. Week 3 is really going to find out where each team falls, plus who still stays on the leaderboards. We'll have all of that. That does it. Jim Flan again, once again, signing out, fellas. See you guys next week.